interesting because I feel like on the inside of the church, we're fighting this historical context you talk about. In other words, we love the blessing of the cross, but we don't love to sit in it and realize this is what God's asking me to do, to die to myself and to live for him, whatever context that's going to look like for me. But I want to flip that upside down because I think the other side of it is true with our nation's history. We understand the curse that was slavery, white people do, and we say that was bad, but we miss the blessing of slavery, that it actually built up the framework for the world that white people live in and lived in. And so a lot of people call this white privilege, and when you say those two words, it just is like a fuse goes off for a lot of white people because they don't want somebody telling them to check their privilege. And so I know that you and I both have struggled in these days with, hey, if the phrase is the trip up, let's get over the phrase and let's get down to the heart. Sure. Let's get down to what then do you want to call it. And I think maybe a great thing for me is to call it white blessing, that I'm living in the blessing of the curse that happened generationally that allowed me to grow up in Atlanta. And, you know, you're talking about being 57. If you were 57, I can't imagine being that old, Dan, and being 57. But I've said to our church, Lecrae, a few weeks ago, when I was born, the day I was born on Boulevard at Georgia Baptist Hospital in 1958, black people did not have equal rights in this city. Not my grandparents' lifetime or their lifetime, in my lifetime. This is right now, what we're talking about today. And
All right, family. So there is a clip I just played regarding Pastor Louis Giglio. Never heard of him. I don't follow any Christian pastors. I don't follow any pastors at all. But so he was on a, I guess, televangelist show with rapper Lecrae, gospel rapper Lecrae, and Chick-Fil-A CEO Dan Cathy. Now, both of these guys are complicit. I used to eat at Chick-Fil-A not too long ago. I don't eat there very often, but because they're on the set with this guy who wants to control the narrative. See, this is a classic case of someone wanting to control the narrative. The dominant white society loves to control the narrative, control the conversation to fit their agenda. That is it. To fit their agenda of spreading misinformation and keeping our people controlled, docile, subdued with religion, with Christianity. You see, he's calling slavery a white blessing. He's calling white privilege a white blessing. There's nothing of this. See, here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. And I posted this on my Instagram. All right. Right. The slave Bible. Okay. The slave Bible has, this is what our ancestors were given. Your religion, the white man's religion, our oppressors, gave a misconstrued, manipulated version of their religion to our people to keep us what? Controlled, docile, and submissive. Same thing what he's doing right now with this white blessing topic. Slave Bible has 289 chapters. There's a reason why the Slave Bible has 289 chapters. Why? Because there are many different chapters and passages in the Bible that indicate that they should not be obeying their masters. They should not be under the victimization and the control of their so-called slave masters. There's many passages that indicate that if they do read those particular passages and chapters, they will incite a rebellion. And again, it was just used to manipulate, control, and keep our people, our ancestors, docile. So 289 chapters in the Bible that your troglodyte ancestors gave our ancestors to keep us manipulated, to keep us befooled. versus your Bible with 1,189 chapters in the Bible. Right? So, do you call that a white blessing? Is that a white blessing to you? Of course it is. Because we are so psychologically damaged from the transatlantic slave trade that we have psychological trauma, which I've talked about many times on the channel. Post-traumatic slavery disorder, cognitive dissonance, Stockholm syndrome. Many of us have these particular issues and we don't know we have them. Right? And so, calling the atrocities of our ancestors and the acts of inhumane annihilation of our people, of our ancestors, calling it white privilege, and then want to reverse it and control the narrative and say, you know what, I'm not going to call it white privilege, let's just call it white blessing. Let's keep it Christian-like. Again, another form of controlling, manipulating, and subduing and keeping our people docile. Right? So, this is exactly what it is when it comes to white supremacy. Religion is a part of the 9 areas of activity they control. Again, it's economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war. They control all 9 areas of activity. They can manipulate the Bible. They can manipulate the messaging. They can manipulate the narrative. They can control the narrative to fit their agenda. Controlling the conversation. Right? To uphold and appease their ultimate agenda, which is control and domination. I want you on my show, but guess what? I want to call white privilege white blessing. That's much better. Because a blessing is great from white people, right? Absolutely not. It's really white genocide. And rest in peace to our all of our ancestors who were manipulated and controlled by this particular message from the 289 chapters of the so-called Bible. Right? You know, Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, one of our other ancestors, said, you know, this is white genocide. To keep their ancestry alive, they need to be able to dominate areas of activity. And they're doing it with all 9 areas of activity, which includes religion. And again, they have to force feed us this bullshit. These false narratives. White blessings. Right? 289 chapters of the Bible given to our ancestors. That's a white blessing, right? So, anyway, those are my thoughts on that, family. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. All right, family, make sure you follow me on Instagram at GMOGFitness. Till next time, family, signing out. Peace.